Today we're going to show you how you can cut your own and grow your own pineapple. There's a couple things you need to do. First, you got to go get your own pineapple. Best thing is you have to look around and find one with a crown that doesn't have all broken and brown leaves on the thing. You want to make sure it's got a nice hearty green glow to it. Right? Make sure it's nice and firm and strong. First, you're going to need to get yourself a nice sharp knife. Alright? So what we're going to do is go ahead and take the knife sharpener and sharpen this knife up a little bit here. It's very important to make sure we got a nice sharp knife here to cut this baby up with. Alright, set that aside. Now we're going to grab the pineapple. Now we're going to try to make the first cut on this without, not on the crown and cutting that, but a little bit down from there, probably about half an inch to an inch. So go ahead and give that a cut and go straight through this thing. Going to go ahead and do is remove all the additional flesh in the skin of this thing. Alright, we got to get it right there. We're going to get it so we're going to get right to the core part here, leaving the ring that's in there in the center. We're going to cut all around the edge. So you got your new knife, give it a couple cuts, make sure it's sharp. Grab the pineapple again, put it down on the table, and let's go ahead and remove the flesh all off of here. We're going to start right at that crown. Now we don't want to cut into the crown. You want to cut away from this part of it. So set it down and then go ahead and cut straight away on that. So you're getting this thing right there. We're getting a straight line all the way through. Make another cut and just keep working around. That looks similar to what you got here. We've got a rough, coarse cut pineapple. The thing is, we've got to try to get rid of all of this excessive fruit in here. Right? The roots are going to come off of this crown, so we're going to have to get this thing even closer right now. It's not quite out there, not ready yet. We got to get it right down there. So now we're going to go ahead and make some smaller flesh cuts. Just keep going in there. And now you're going to start to angle it more towards the center of that ring. Keep cutting away at it. Alright, now you can see here we're finally getting away from the flesh and you're getting a more solid core that we're cutting into at this point. This here is the nice solid part that you want to keep out. This is what was going to start to regrow, this part right down here. So we're going to go ahead and just keep trimming away here and get off any of the soft stuff that we can definitely get out of there. Yourself a larger vase and you're going to go ahead and fill it up with water. Now what's nice is these vases here allows this pineapple to sit down into it and grab the edge of it. So we're not going to drown the whole thing in water. We're only going to want to put about the first right up to the crown part right below the water line at that point. That's what we want. We don't want the whole thing under it. You just want the water line up into the yellow part of the crown on there. What we're going to do now is to start growing the roots for this thing. After we get the roots growing, then we're going to go ahead and start planting this. I had done this one 2.5 weeks ago. 2.5 weeks. And this thing has grown massively already. It will grow in the vase. And when I take it out of the water here, you'll notice there's roots. Look at all those roots. Once we get those roots growing, that means we're going to go ahead and start getting ready to plant this thing out in the dirt. These are probably about 3 inches, 4 inches long now. So this thing is ready to go ahead and start putting in the ground. Our next step is to take our crown and pot it. I prefer to use pots because it allows me to move these around the patio depending on the size and where I like to look at it, as well as how much sunlight it's getting too. You're going to want to put a layer of rock in them. Pineapples do like to have water go through them. Alright, we've got this thing filled up at this point. Alright, push it down, make sure we get a nice holding, and then right in the middle, go ahead and dig yourself out a hole where grab our crown with those nice roots that we have in here, slip that in, right in the middle of this. You got to put it right in the middle, because this thing is going to spread. Alright. That's looking pretty good, isn't it? All there is to growing a pineapple. In 9 months, it'll start to look like this. So I thank you for watching, and catch another episode of Jack in the Net in the future.